I am one of the academics that argues that these mRNA products, which everybody calls vaccines, are qualitatively different than standard vaccines. And so I found it fascinating to learn that Merriam-Webster changed its definition of vaccine early this year. mRNA products did not meet the definition of vaccine that has been in place for 15 years at Merriam-Webster, but the definition was expanded such that mRNA products are now vaccines. I highlight this to ask a question. How would you feel about mandating COVID vaccines if we didn't call them vaccines? What if these injections were called drugs instead? So here's the scenario. We have this drug, and we have evidence that it doesn't prevent infection, nor does it stop viral transmission. But the drug is understood to reduce your risk of becoming very sick and dying of COVID. Would you take a dose of this drug every 6 months or so for possibly the rest of your life? If that's what it took for the drug to stay effective? Would you not just take this drug yourself, but support regulations mandating that everybody else around you take this drug? Or would you say, hold on a sec. Maybe you'd say that if that's all the drug does, why not use a normal medicine instead? The kind we take when we're sick and want to get better. And why would you mandate it? The point is, just because we call it a vaccine doesn't mean we should assume these new products are just like all other childhood vaccines which get mandated. Each product is a different product, and if people are okay with mandating something simply because it's a vaccine and we mandate other vaccines, so why shouldn't we mandate this? I think it's time to inject some critical thinking into that conversation, and that is what I hope we're doing today. Thank you.
COVID jabs, mRNA vaccines, as the fake stream media call them, when they have been labelled as gene therapy, the fact checkers have come out and said, no, this is not true. For example, here in Forbes, mRNA vaccines are not gene therapy. And also PolitiFact, who said Joe Rogan falsely says mRNA vaccines are gene therapy. Well, a couple of weeks ago, you had this, the World Health Summit, with speakers from the World Health Organization, United Nations. Here we see Minister of Health, Germany, Ursula, European Commission, Tedros, Director General of the WHO, and loads of big pharma boffins and CEOs, including this fella, Stefan Ulrich, member of the Board of Management and Head of Pharmaceuticals Division, Bayer AG, Germany. Bayer being one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world and involved with the mRNA jabs, okay? So let's see what he said at this World Health Summit.
And for us, therefore, we're really taking that leap, us as a company, Bayer, in cell and gene therapy, which to me is one of these examples where really we're going to make a difference, hopefully, moving forward. There's some, ultimately, the mRNA vaccines are an example for that cell and gene therapy. I always like to say, if we had surveyed 2 years ago in the public, would you be willing to take gene or cell therapy and inject it into your body, we would have probably had a 95% refusal rate. I think this pandemic has also opened many people's eyes to innovation in the way that was maybe not possible before.
So he basically says that the mRNA jabs are gene therapy and that without the pandemic, the public would never have taken gene therapy. He says 95% of people wouldn't have taken gene therapy shots. If surveyed 2 years ago,